Good morning to you. Thank God it's Friday. It's what they usually would say on Fridays like this one. 4 minutes past 8. My name is Ifeemi Andrew. And, like I always say, let's get into our conversation for the morning. And on the show today, I would be speaking with a very interesting gentleman. There are many reasons why I'm talking to this guy today, Mr. Lord Douglas. And some of those reasons concerned you and me and every single person in Rivers State who consumes power. It concerns you. Now, the reason is because there have been threats of a total blackout in Rivers State if, after 14 days, the federal government fails to reverse the increase in electricity tariff. Now, Mr. Lord Douglas is the Regional Deputy Secretary General of the Senior Staff Association of Electricity Allied Company. And he's with me in the studio this morning. Sir, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Mr. Ifeemi.
You guys had locked out the Minister for Power. Let's start from there. You locked him out of the office. I think it was on Monday when this locking out happened. Why did you guys lock out the Minister? You locked out your Oga. Why? Yes, you're laughing because I also looked at him like, what's going on? So why did you lock out your Oga?
We're all stakeholders in this industry. And the minister, it may not be proper to refer to the minister in the real sense of it as the Oga of the electricity sector.
Oh, okay. But for that ministry, is the Oga of the ministry.
Yes, for the ministry is the Oga.
Exactly.
But, he has people that he runs the ministry with, meaning that the minister should know. I think this have given him a lesson to know that, look, you don't own. You may be the man in charge at this time, but you do not own the ministry. There are people, they say, soldier come, soldier go, barrack remains. The industry belongs to the staff and the workers of that industry. It's not for the minister. Minister is just a political appointment.
So was that why you locked him out, to send that message, or there were other reasons, behind the whole situation? What informed that decision?
What informed the issue actually was that the minister have been running the ministry as a personal enterprise. But what informed him being locked out or chased out of the office was because the minister will always send out a memo for a meeting, and the minister will not honor the meeting that he already scheduled. This wasn't the first time, it was not the second time, it wasn't the third time. Unfortunately, that very day, it was so surprising that even those working with the minister are not even aware that the minister has scheduled a meeting and allow people to come from every part of the country to go and meet with him for a meeting. Getting there, the minister was not there, or the minister was not prepared.
No representative, nobody, no information to say he would not make
the meeting. The people were not even aware that there was a meeting and that. And I think the best thing is just to shut the office.
Okay. Now that you've given us this information, there are those who still are concerned about the 14-day ultimatum that was given. Now, this 14-day ultimatum that was given, was it also part of the reason why the minister was locked out? I mean, with regards to the electricity tariff decision.
Yes, of course. You know that the issue of the electricity tariff has been making news. And
we thought we passed that now, because we know that there was some sort of a little bit of reduction that was made. Correct me if I'm wrong. And Nigerians already thought we've moved past this electricity tariff thing now, and to see that we're still here now, raises questions, especially with this threat that we are having.
The increase in the tariff already has a multiplying effect.
Okay.
Ripples that is affecting the industry stance, and it has not come to it is not over yet. It was out of force that the minister reduced from 300 to 206 or thereabouts, but that is not enough. What we are telling the ministry is that you have to revert to the old price. When you revert to the old price, then we can sit down and start discussing. If the minister has consulted before increasing this tariff, it wouldn't have been in this. Wouldn't have been where we are now. It would have been properly negotiated and discussed. We are the players in this industry. The minister is not a player in the industry. The minister have little or to the respect of the office. At least the minister is supposed to learn in the job. So it can't be more than those that are working there. And I will enlist the effect, the negative effect. That singular
that's what I want you to do, because what that policy, what's the implication of that policy, with regards to the tariff increase? How does it affect the whole system to the point where you now say if you do not revert it, we're going on a total blackout?
One of the major reasons, if I may quote the minister very correctly, is to get more from those that have.
That was why it was introduced in the first place.
Yes, that was why it was introduced.
But sorry for interrupting you, because I want us to be clear. To get more from those that have, what did he mean by that? Did he explain what he meant by getting more from those that have?
We're talking about tax now. Of course, that is where federal government is just taking tax from everywhere that they feel they can. But again, in tariff, they believe that Bank A consists of those that has the money that can pay. That was their thinking. So if we give 20 hours power supply to the people in Bank A and then increase the tariff, we are going to get enough revenue back to the government or to the system. But unfortunately, Bank A or bank is a network. And if a network, it means that it is not a designated line. What I mean is, this is your office. The company may say, okay, we are giving you a designated line, and they will send a direct line to you to sustain your industry without interruption.
Another pause, because we need to get this correctly. So you're saying, aside the various bands we have, band A, band B, band C, I think, and band D, I think that those are the most.
Yes.
There's something called DL, the designated line.
Yes.
So what makes a designated line different from all the bands? What is a designated line even?
Designated line is just as the name implies. I use this place for an instance. You wouldn't want an interruption in your services, and you want 24 hours supply. Maybe because of what it's mostly given to hospitals, all these big companies like LNG and other, depending on their negotiating power. I think so. So you can discuss with the company. And of course, if they are giving you such, you have to pay higher. Yes, to get that. And I think it's operational. So, but banks, it's a network. All sorts of people live under that network. Both the rich, the poor, the average. So thinking in the first place that if we give Bank A minimum of 20 hours supply, that everybody there is able to pay, is the first mistake ever that a minister have made. And the effect, as I said before, is that the amount that is being expected to come from Bank A is even reducing. It has dropped more than what they used to get. Because those that you think are able to pay are not able to pay. Many of them have gone through what they call line bypass, a meter bypass. So they are not even paying at all. And our members that go for this revenue drive are being assaulted by the day. Many of them are assaulted. People come back with night court and that. The company, the disco,
is losing money.
It's losing money. Because those that we believe that are going to pay are shutting down the system. The companies that are supposed to be in Bank A said, no, with the increase, 300% increase, we cannot pay. So they are all out of the network. And the disco has so much to pay to the government. And the workers have so much to remit to disco. As I was saying before the lesson, I have a member, far away BEDC, and he billed about 1.7.
That's in Edo State.
Edo State. He billed about 1.7 billion. As we speak,
a company was built that.
No. His network, his product.
Okay.
Yeah, that what we call the product. Of course, you know that the product is those that having a meter. We call them the prepaid. Those that don't have are postpaid, and there are also this other one. That's the disco divided their product into three.
Okay, three categories of people. Categories.
So, and the people to man these areas are also designated in this line. So this guy is in one of the regions, so to speak, And I think he's in charge of I can't remember now.
So what he's supposed to bring in
To the company
is 1 point something billion.
billion.
Okay.
But as a day before yesterday that I left Benin, he had just gotten about 800 billion. He had not even made up to 1 billion. So you know the mental torture that guy is going through now. Because there's also what the company introduced, which they call performance base. If you're a staff and you are working in this company, we are going to rate you by your performance. So at the end of every month, we are going to check how much have you performed. And the only way we check your performance is on how much revenue you brought back based on what you have built. And again, you will also excuse Disco a little bit because you know that Discos that are doing this billing.
Let's go on a commercial. Just hold that thought there.
Of the 14th of May 2024, members of the newly elected executive are agreed
The morning crossfire continues. My name is Ifeemi Andrew, and in the studio with me is Mr. Innocent Lord Douglas, the Regional Deputy Secretary General of the Senior Staff Association of Electricity Allied Companies. So yes, before that commercial, we were discussing the situation with the tariff increase and the threats that we have with regards to a blackout if it is not reversed. And so my guest has been able to tell us what that one policy can cause and the implications thus far. Well, we're still trying to understand. In fact, now we figure out that there's something called a dedicated line. Many people have not been aware of that. My question even, does the dedicated line have any interference? Does it suffer what we suffer with regards to, there's vandalism? And there are people that also ask this question, especially when it comes to the power generation. We know that we used to generate and sell power to neighboring countries. Are those countries affected? Do we have designated lines for those countries we generate power and sell to as well? Or are they also affected by vandalism, gas vandalism, and the rest of the stories we hear from government whenever the national grid collapses or goes down? Does it affect those guys too that we sell power to?
Well, I think what we should know is that electricity is a technical department, so to speak, our engineering, which can have a fault one time or the other, electrical fault, engineering fault, those are eminent, can happen. But when a line is dedicated, I think you should know that every attention should be given to that, because there is a bilateral agreement that you have signed with the people. If you don't fulfill that, you are going to pay some huge amount of money. I think I should also think that is what happens to that countries, if we still give them, that we will supply light.
So if we're still supplying to them, the agreement would be we have a way that we supply to them without any hindrance.
Yes, attention will be given to
them. Let's speak in this in the idea that we still are, or at the time that we try, because there were complaints that were even being owed by some of them at the time. So let's imagine that we were supplying these people and we found a way to have a dedicated way to supply them without interference, just because we want to make the monies and make sure that we do not pay any monies for defaulting. Can't we apply the same way or the same principles or the same mechanisms that we use to supply those people to ensure that there isn't any interruption, to also do the same thing to people in the country locally?
That is where the union is coming in. Because what the minister is doing is putting the cart before the horse. And of course, there won't be any movement if that is done. You are increasing tariff, yes. This is the 7th time you've done that. And we have not obstructed you. Because we are believing that as you are increasing tariff, you are also empowering the generation sector, which you are already privatized already, to produce or generate electricity to come down to Nigerians. If you give us supply, and you said, that we have enough supply in Ahoda, and in Emoha, you are giving these people have about I am Bank D, and I know I cannot pay for Bank A in Ahoda. I will relocate to Emoha where I will enjoy Bank B according to my money, and I will pay. That is the brain behind that. Or I can go to Bolokri if there is Bank D there, and I will go and stay. But there should be working. But the situation now is, because you are not generating, because you are refused to empower generation company, or to allow them, or to tell them what to do, or to remove politics out of governance. What you have done is to take the little one that we are generating, and you're using that to put in Bank A. And
so you can serve the people.
You can serve these people as not to default, so that you can get that money. At that same time, your other people do not even have a supply to even pump their water.
Meanwhile, you've also said that even in the Band A, not everybody can afford it. So some people are bypassing. So you still will not accomplish your goal.
These are some. Yes, it is not. You are not getting the benefit of your policy, because not everybody is paying. People are bypassing. And again, if you must even do this, why not you meter all the houses? If you meter all the houses, I'm in Bank A. I can now say I can't pay. I switch off my light, my meter, let me not get. But even when my meter, my supplies are off because I'm in bank A, I can't pay. By the end of the month, you are coming to give me estimated bill on the rate of those that are in bank A. And that is killing. So, you see that there is no way out of it. The policy is already a dead policy on arrival.
Why doesn't the union make a case, or this protest, for instance, why wasn't it targeted at also ensuring that, okay, meter everybody? Provide meters. Or make these meters affordable.
You see, what we are telling the government, first of all, is revert to the old price. Because as stakeholders in this industry, we believe that the minister, as other ministers have done, will call a stakeholder meeting. Look, these are the policy. He does not have any blueprint. We have not seen what the Minister of Power said that this is my blueprint since I came in power 1 year ago. What are your policy? We don't know. But you just come back one day and you list out a policy, and you know that why he is doing his own, because there is no coordination. NEC is also doing their own in the other way. Nobody is coordinating. They are just running at variance. And the union said, no, we must get both of you together. Come back, let's know who is in charge of this ministry and who knows who dish out authority. Then let us even know what is your blueprint. Come and give us. Then we can now start from there. At that point, we can now tell him, giving a dedicated line or bank A, let him know, because we are the major players in this industry. The type of people that live there, they are not all politicians. Bank A did not just send to GRA, where you have politicians or government houses. No, it traverses everywhere where people stay. People, the rich, the poor, and the middle class, even those that do not even have work. So how are they going to fit in this? And again, you're strangulating the disco. Because the expected money they're supposed to make, they are not getting it, and you're billing them on tax based on your expected revenue that's supposed to come to them. And again, you're stiffening the TCN. You're collecting so much money from the TCN for loss of revenue and everything, and you are making them look as if they cannot operate. But these people, the TCN said, we can operate. Give us energy and we are going to transmit energy. How much energy is given? Of course, you know that the highest we have gotten so far is 4,500 megawatts. And compare 4,500 megawatts to 200 million Nigerian people. And compare the megawatt that is used in a small, sorry to use that word, country as Ghana. And you know that we are just about to start. We've not even started.
No, I mean, I don't think, because in Egypt, I know that for Egypt, it was said that they need something around 30,000
40-something thousand,
and they're generating about 60,000.
Beautiful. Plus. They are building 40,000 megawatts to add up to the 60 that is already running. 60,000, not 6,000. What is the population of Egypt?
Exactly. That's where.
What is the population of Nigeria? 4,500 cannot even sustain.
So what is the problem? Why can't we get the generation right? Because they keep saying vandalism, but then we've established now from some of the information you've given that if we're able to supply countries outside Nigeria power, and we find a dedicated way to do it without interruptions, it means it is possible to keep this generation up and generate this power without interruptions, and vandalism is not the problem. Would not be an ultimate problem, even though we cannot rule away the fact that sometimes we might see these things happen. The worry now is, how do we go forward? Because the blackout you are threatening would happen, or could happen if the tariff is not reverted. It's still going to affect businesses and residents. Have you considered that, or is that something that you worry about?
The major obstacle to labor strike or action is in consideration of what you have just said there. We consider the people, and that is why we have not been able to make a headway in a labor struggle. Because whenever there is a decision to take an action, you always hear people say, what of those people that sell in the market? The economy is already bad. You are going to shut them. What of these people that their only occupation is to run taxi and bus and make a daily pay? And that is what have kept us where we are. But I think a time comes when you damn the consequences for us to get it right. What we're saying is that we are already suffering. People are not even getting the light. Those that are getting the light cannot pay. The people that are going in for this revenue are being assaulted by the day. The disco that is even distributing this currency, current, are also having their own share of the problem. So nobody, these guys said that we are all casualties. Nobody is out of this game. So if the minister does not revert, there's going to be a shutdown. And I think it will be a request, if I will use this medium, for every Nigerian. Of course, we live in our houses without power. So if shutting down power for 1 week wouldn't kill us, we live without power. There are so many areas that have not seen power. In my community, I have not seen power for the past 4 years. Yes. In my local government, I have not seen power for the past 4 years. So people like that should join this action. There are people in Port Harcourt that have not even seen power for the past 1 week, 2 weeks. If you see in a blink. It's not because the company also want to punish you, but because of the negative policy of the government. And it's affecting everybody. So if we shut down power for 1 week for us to get it right, I think it is justified.
Because people are quick to blame the discos. We'll open the phone lines and take some calls. But something you said, people are always quick to blame the discos. I mean, the Port Harcourt Electricity Distribution Company and the others for why they don't have power. But you're making a point to say it's not really them, because even the discos are suffering from these policies as well. It is the policies that the government is putting in place that's affecting everybody in the system. Well, we'll elaborate on this some more. But first, let's get on to the phone lines and get questions and reactions from the listener. Will you support, that's the question, this total blackout in Rivers State that the Senior Staff Association of Electricity Allied Companies are talking about in 14 days if the price for electricity tariff is not reversed back to what it was? Well, share your thoughts now with us on 0817 923 0002, 0817 923 0003, 0817 923 0007. The numbers that you can call to join the conversation. On Facebook, Nigeria Info 92.3 PH. On X, Nigeria Info PH. Leighton Barry is in Bori. Good morning to you, Leighton Barry. Quickly, straight to the point.
Good morning, Ifemi Andrew. Good morning to your guest.
All right, go on.
Yes, for me, I will support the blackout because, however, it has been a pattern of living. So I will see no need or anything different if there is a blackout. But let me conclude by saying, these ministers you so talk about, I am surprised at how they come to the analysis and the arithmetics put together that gave him the impetus to come to this conclusion by increasing the tariff, even not minding the impact, the negative impact that will be on the citizen. But I also know that some of these ministers are also doing their eye service because, it was like a target given to them by the president. So at least each of their ministries will have something, presentable when a year or their tenure will come to an end, as in what they have contributed. But they begin to have a negative side towards it because what they are doing now, in order to gain influence from the president, is making them giving a wrong signal to the society. Now look at the suffering of the people, So the labor need to stand their ground. It is not this only coming to the radio and talk, but to do the right thing because, we are dealing with politicians and their mentality is not the same with what you think because you are representing the society, they are representing politicians. So please, I want to urge you.
All right. Let's go to Bimi. Ken is on the line. Thank you, Leighton Barry. Ken, good morning.
Good morning, Ifemi Andrew.
Go ahead, Ken.
And greetings to your guests. Yes, I think that 1 week is not even enough. And if I may start by his initial analysis, I think for the minister, surely to consult his workers as per se, before he will introduce any policy, that is to show that literally he is not a kind of ministry worthy of this particular section Otherwise, he should have known exactly what he should do for him to be a minister. I wonder why we should be using lawyers to serve health sector, then agriculture people to head engineering sector. It's very, very unfortunate in this our country. Thank you very much. I'm calling from
JJ from Port Harcourt town. Good morning.
Yeah, Andrew, good morning.
Go on, JJ.
And I greet your guests in the studio. How come we, the citizens, don't have light, but the people we supply in another country, they have light, and they will have it more abundantly? You see, people have gone there, will tell you, if you go to social country, light, not they blink. You go here, light, not they blink. As I'm talking to you right now, I'm sweating like, I don't want to describe it here, but it's not a good one. Then, if we increase everything, and at the same vein, our president is traveling around the world asking investors to come in, interest rate is about 35%, fuel prices have risen, school fees risen, everything rising, nothing is falling. Fuel that they would have managed without light is also risen. So how do we survive? How does the investors, how do they survive in this country? How do we survive at the end of the day? Please, it's a question you ask, Andrew. He who is on the ground does not fear fall.
JJ, we can't get you clearly, but I think I understand what you're trying to say, that you would support the blackout. I mean, when you mentioned he was on the ground, fears no fall, then because you're already on the ground. So technically, you're okay with the blackout. Solomon from Abuloma, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, comrade in the office, and good morning, Mr. Speaker. My suggestion is that we can go on blackout for the next 3 weeks or more, because what is disturbing this country is corruption. Where they rob the poor to settle the rich. So if they don't bring the tariff down, it will be better we all go on strike, blackout. We are ready to face it. Thank you very much.
All right, David Solomon, thank you. David in Rimolumeni, over to you now. Good morning. The numbers still are 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003, 0817-923-0007. On Facebook, we are already in blackout, so let's damn the consequences if it will bring about good results. This is Quentin Smith. Pokoli says in Eleme, there have been no power for over 3 months. Isse Frederick says... Confidence says blackout this, blackout that, hiking this, hiking that. Every day we wake up to hear negative headlines in the news. Haven't we suffered enough in the hands of our leaders in this country? 0817-923-0002, 0817-923-0003. The numbers to call. On WhatsApp, a few messages here. Tonye says, I live in Alu. And most times I see power. How often do you say you see it again? I'm trying to get that message out. Good news from Mile 3. Good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning, my brother, man. Blackout. Me, they're talking about band A, band B. I know that I belong to band Q. And in band Q,
oh my goodness.
The light comes once in a blue moon, and when it comes, it is useless because the current is very low. You cannot on your AC, you cannot use your fridge, the fan will not blow. Already we are in blackout. What they should do is that, in fact, they cannot even do it because the rich who uses that band A, they cannot go and off their lights. That is the problem. That is the major problem in Nigeria. Even inside the people who are calling blackout. It is still with them to suffer the blackout, or probably that is in the minimum standard of living in Nigeria. Those our big governors, our senators who live in those areas where they are band A, where they have their generators, they have solar power, and they have the band A light, they cannot off their light. Oh, Nigeria.
Oh, good news. Lucky from Romo Krushi. Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew.
All right, go on.
and people in the studio. I will only expatiate on the tariff. We are supplying light to Ghana. And Ghana has been celebrating uninterrupted light.
I don't know if that's still on at the moment, though. So let's get the facts right. Lots
to thrive in a.
Apologies for that. I don't think we still are. I know about Niger, and I think sometimes they used to even say Chad. I don't know if those are still on even, because there was a time we had to stop. But go ahead. We get the point you're trying to make. Okay. Honest from Ichie. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, Honest, quickly, let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, my name is Honest. I'm calling from Ichie.
Go on, please.
Yeah, I support the blackout in the state because this is more than like 8 months now in my community. There is no light, and even if they want to bring light, they will ask them for millions to give light. Increasing transformer, increasing power rent every month, every time. So how can someone live without light? For we answer that there is light in the state. So I support the blackout. If they can only do it to bring justice or to do so that we see the people's or that we see the. In fact, I don't know if it's the only thing that will bring peace. Let it be.
All right. Honest. Thank you. In Alu, this one says, I see light once in a week or once in 2 weeks. And when I call the PHED marketers to complain, I'm being told just manage it that way. I'm very tired. Please, I support the strike. Tony. All right, let's come to you, Mr. Lord Douglas, in just under 2 minutes. Your response as we wrap up. You heard some of them. Well, they say they are supporting the strike. But what I would like you to make us understand is, how the estimated billing, how does it work? Because imagine that caller that said where they live now, the current is not even full. You cannot even use your AC. But then the bill will come and you hear 50-something thousand, 60-something thousand. And sometimes it's shocking because you cannot understand why it's that expensive. When in Alu now, this person says he sees it once in 2 weeks, but then the bill will come at the end of the month and you will hear 80,000, 60,000. Why?
Your bill based on the bank that you enjoy, but I know that NAC has a minimum amount that is supposed to be billed to an estimated consumer, which is true. But I mean, I don't have the facts now, but I know that the billing of somebody in Bank A is not the same with somebody in Bank D. As it were,
whether or not you get the power that you as you are supposed to.
Well, I think that is why it's estimated, because the only instrument to know how many times you use supply is meter, and that is why we always advise consumers to try and struggle to get a meter. If you get a meter, it saves you a whole lot of trouble, But you'll be billed based on the band that you fall under.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Lord Douglas, I have to say thank you at this point because we have to wrap it up. We don't have a lot of time. We have commercials already on that we need to take now. But thank you again. And we'll be keeping in touch just to wait and see how that blackout would look like.
Thank you. We'll be available to respond to you.
Thank you very much. We take a short commercial now. Do well to stay with us.